Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Friday, everybody. April 11th, 2025. Welcome, traders. We're going to go through SPX and all the other indices on the daily time frame, and then we're going to go over the 65-minute. But I think it's necessary today that, first of all, we took a short position on gold, GLD. We used our in-out spreads to catch a reversal on this one, and I'll show you why. So we're going to look at gold. We're going to check out the dollar because that directly is related to gold, and also TNX, the 10-year rates. Okay, we want to make sure that we keep an eye on this because there was an association with the weakness in small caps today because of the sharp move in bonds. And whenever bonds have a large move or a very relentless over time move, it's going to affect the market in some sort of, it's going to affect a sector in particular, depending on which way it's moving in a negative way. All right. And so we want to take a quick look at that. So let's go through. Let's start. We're doing this intraday about 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member to support the channel. It's 99 cents a month. Thank you for all you members out there. There's a huge community on the Discord that it comes with. And then we'll go. Let's jump into it. All right. SPX. We have our bearish rising wedge, broke down from it, coming into support here. The big question is, are we going to make a new low or not? Okay, things are firming up today. We're holding on to this this zone right here. So it's still a corrective look. We'll have to see what happens. We're not trading this. We're jumping in and out of futures. This is just we don't know which way this is going to swing yet. Is the low in? Are we going to get a higher low? Or is it going to be a pain trade where everybody misses it and it just continues higher? And by everybody, you know what I mean. I'm sure there's some of you that are trading long in this, and I love it. So let's go ahead and go through the indicators. The moving averages, most of the indices and a lot of the big tech stocks are fighting with their 8 EMA or even their 20 moving average. I know that Microsoft is just above both of them. But so, I mean, technically, the trend is still down. We're fighting with momentum sideways. You saw the chop action today. We're starting to firm up a little bit of bullishness. Today, we haven't seen this kind of price action in some time with the huge crash here. So, yeah. McClellan oscillator. All right, still in oversold territory. Again, there's no positive divergence. There's no confirmation. We're just going to have to take in any information that the market gives us and trade off of that. There's nothing that says a bottom is in. The breadth has not strengthened enough to become positive. So it's just risky to play to the upside. And obviously, there's with a high volatility, the range of these moves are massive. Even if we felt like it was a tight range today, I think it was around 100 points or so. Okay, so these indicators, pretty much the same thing. All right, MACD, no positive divergence. We're leaving a placeholder there for now. I don't know if we'll get one. We're not even crossing over in a bull cross yet. Histogram's getting up there, but no crossover yet. So again, no confirmation. Still biased to the downside. Again, we have a couple shorts with Nvidia. We'll see how that's holding up. And gold, we're really light on our trades right now. So we have the slow stochastic. It's cycling up. That could be the little strength that we have today. You know, things are holding up. This starts to cycle down. Perhaps we go to make that higher low or the new low there. So we'll just be watching that. each and every day. Sometimes you just got to sit on your hands. A DMARC, unless you're a really short-term scalper. DMARC, 3 count, nothing to see here. Awesome oscillator. We got a green bar here. That's a little positive sign. No positive divergence, nothing to look at there. We'll go over to SPY. SPY, I was just looking at this again, so I'm going to keep this. This is our bullish count here. So this is holding steady. There's nothing wrong with this. We have an expanded ending diagonal, 3-wave move down for a corrective move into a 4 that didn't cross over one. It doesn't have to. No rules that says, but it got really deep, really close. So it's expanding formation. And then we would get a 3-wave move up for wave 5 if that's the case, to make a new high there. And so we'll be monitoring to see what kind of formation we get in here. Let's change boards. Let's go to divergences. And here's the money flow index. Positive divergence on the money flow. So we're looking at that. Maybe that's the only sign that we needed to get the bottom in. Told you these have a very good track record of catching turns. Bollinger Band, we did have that buy signal back here outside of the band. Oversold equals buy. That's going to look really good on GLD. I'll show you. We have a sell signal. So here's the volume shelf. Again, we came to that standard deviation. Also the volume gap here. Held on to that, and so far so good to the upside. Elliott oscillator, nothing really to look at. Nothing showing on the daily time frame. Looking at that's the expanded time and price. We're in it. Do we make a new low within this time? Huge moves have happened. We have till the 14th, and so we're just in this time frame for some sort of time and price. Do we make a new high? Maybe we make a new high into next week, and then we can look for a reversal off of the top of the wedge. And maybe that's how, if that's the case, and we'll see on the 65-minute, then we can actually count this as a 5-wave move up if we make a new high here. All right, looking at, I think we have one more board to look at. So this is our bearish count. And again, this looks at this point, A, B, C, for A to be completed or near completion. And then we're correcting for a B wave, and then we head lower. Now, ultimately, this could end up being a leading diagonal where they're all 3-wave moves for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can happen within time, but we'll just have to update. It doesn't matter at this point. We'll just update you anytime there are some changes. Now, I don't want to forget about this, so I'm going to do it now. Still the same thing we talked about. This is going to be our wave 4 bull bear line here, the 382. So if price remains underneath here, I still think there is a chance that wave 5 is not in. We get above here, and that's also really good support / resistance. So we get above here, and then we're talking a different game plan. So if we even close, up above to this 48 area and then come back through it, it's still, I think the probability at that point means we're going to get a higher low. All right. Let's go to Qs. Qs fighting with the 8 EMA, getting above it here so far. We might get another inside day. We have that huge bar, an inside day. We might have a double inside day. So price action's getting tight, and we're likely to see a huge move, whether it's in the up direction or down after this pans out. So still 20 moving average, our trend indicator is headed down. So there is risk. SMH, same thing, showing the same pattern, fighting with that 8 EMA. Again, this low might be in. We're just getting like a triangle consolidation. Maybe this is still a wave 4 type price action. Very similar to the Mag 7, 1, 2, wave 3 all the way down here. Bounce for a large wave 4 triangle, and then wave 5 to go down to the next level. DIA, the diamonds. Looking at this, a little bit of relative strength here. Going to back test this channel once again. That broke down, so it's a breakdown area. And that's all these prices did. All the indices is they tested the breakdown area. And we're fighting with the 8 EMA. We just need more information. I'm not going to, go all out into shorts with with such a strong look here, but we'll look for signs of either an objective short or signs of weakness. So again, those right now with volatility how it is, in out spreads, you are set it and forget it. You are mitigating your risk. You have protection against all of the Greeks. So consider that. Here's the VIX. To me, it's just still in a consolidation area. So this is the inverse of SPY. This at any point could use this 8 EMA and begin to get new highs before topping out. All right, let's look over to, first of all, TNX. It's our 10-year interest rate. All right, so this is what worries me about the next move that's coming up. All right, so we have this nice channel here. I do think this is a B, and I still think we have a C wave to come. All right, so we had this large move up here today off of PMI, off of Terratop, whatever the case is. We had a huge move to the upside. So that caused, and I constantly show these so people can see, sell small caps, buy tech. So tech was holding us up today. It's pushing us up because of that move. And the small caps are relatively weak. All right. I think that's going to change. Huge reversal, potential reversal bar. And if we have a large move, very similar to these massive moves in the bonds, we have a large move to the downside for whatever reason, then you better believe it's going to take down tech and it's going to rip down the market. Even though small caps will have relative strength, the order flow will take over and everything will be negative. So just keep an eye on the rates. And now for gold. First off, just to give you a quick glimpse, this one gives us, so we have this huge support area that held for a very long time, got underneath there. I think this is a corrective move for the dollar to become bullish. I think this was an A. All of this was an ABC for a B, for a lower high. And then we made a lower low into a wave C, which is a 5-wave move, which to me looks like it's near done or it's done already. So set some alerts for when and if it gets back above this huge area. That will be a fake break. And you should see pressure put onto gold. Okay, so let's go to GLD. GLD on the higher time frames are causing negative divergence and such. So we have, first of all, here's the moving averages. Everything's pushing up. It's a parabolic move. We're starting to get a little bit of a reversal here. Let's see what happens. We have negative divergence here on the MACD from here to here to here. Negative divergence forming. We can't get a confirmation until it turns back over and we get red here. But parabolic moves usually end up in a V-shape sell. All right, you can see these pops here, sold into those pops. And negative divergence on the RSI. We're getting into the overbought territory here on the slow stoke. So when that starts to curl down, we should see a move, a reversal speed up there. So DMARC, nothing to see there. 1-2 count. Awesome oscillator, you have the negative divergence. Money flow index, look at that. Negative divergence across 2 times there. Moving along quickly. Bollinger Band, way outside the Bollinger Band with overbought conditions, with negative divergence, sell signal. It's one of the main reasons why we took this today. I don't usually trade off that, but when you see a parabolic move, just a reversion to the mean is necessary. And then you can look also, this looks like a 1-2, wave 3, 4, and then an impulsive 5 wave move up. So this part of the structure looks complete. All right, and the Elliott wave should say so. Very good. So on the wave 3, we show the wave 4 is up here, the 3 to 4. All right, and we got our, well, 3 to 4 right here. So we got our negative divergence. We dipped. Same thing up here. We had our top of our wave 3 into 5. I think I said that wrong over here. Here's wave 3 into 5, negative divergence. Had our sell-off. Now back up here, wave 3 into 5. Another negative divergence. That's the Elliott oscillator telling you that that wave, that series is done. Okay, let's go back to SPY. We'll go around quickly on the 65. Here's our traditional look. And so after tagging the bottom of this wedge, are we just going back up to the range to tag the top of the wedge? If we do, then this is what this says to me, that we possibly, and there's 2 ways you can do this. There's, first of all, we're just in an ABC. That's how it looks right now. That's what's holding. That's how I'm looking at it. We have a nice little trend line here. We can continue up if price holds there. Okay, and then if we get a new high, this could be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave leading diagonal, which is still going to look like a bear flag. So we're going to duplicate this. It's going to look like a bear flag either way. And then we'll have to see what price action gives us. So we could make a new high. We could break down from here. But if we make a new high, test the wedge, that could be counted as a 5 wave leading diagonal. Other than that, it could be an ABC for a larger degree A. We got our B, right? And we're looking for that 5 wave move up for a C. So there's 2 ways that look the same that you can count it in different ways. And so you'll have to, but either way, we'll be looking for a correction for a breakdown from the wedge. So it's a bearish rising wedge, no matter how you count it, unless something else happens to where it's a nesting of 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we fire out of this. All right, that would be a whole different story. And then we're probably looking at new highs at that point, new all-time highs. All right, your moving averages, just getting above that 50. That was holding out price action all day today, super choppy. And now the 8 momentum indicator is pushing price up. So we're back into resistance. We'll see what happens at the end of the day here. All right, here's our setup for oscillators, MACD, showing good strength there. The momentum is up. Nothing to really see here. We're not overbought yet. And no divergences or anything. And we're getting up to this territory here. We're oscillating to the top here. So maybe this has a few more maybe oscillations up. I don't know if that's how you want to say it. But then if it does get a sell signal here, that could signal the top of this move. Not a whole lot to do here. DMARC, starting to get a little bit of a count here. Up to 5. So again, this still could be this easily. If this is following what I think NVIDIA is doing, then this is still an ABC, and all we're getting is the 1-2 setup and heading lower into the 5-wave move to new lows. All right, not going to do these, nothing to see there. So this is the bearish look. There's such a deep retracement in that move here. Here's what we're holding on to for the moment. An A, B, then we had that nice 5-wave move there where it could be complete, right? So you have your A, B, C, and done. And now we can go to new highs. Well, we came right into the 62% retracement from this move here. So this can easily be an extension, and we are in cycle low timings. So there's risk coming up here next week. So you have a 5-wave move here, and then you have an ABC right into the 62% retracement. It's called a 1-2 setup. And now we're looking for a 5-wave move lower. So the only thing that happened today, and this very well just could be a B wave. This can be a 5, 3, 5. Okay. And we're coming right into the 62% retracement of this move. So really at this point, at this here, doing this video, we have a 1-2, 1-2 setup going into a risk week, going over the weekend. And so this could easily turn around and start it's wave 3, 4, 5. We can continue, and that would be the higher degree wave 3, and again a bounce 4, 5. Okay, so that this still could lead into the 470 area, possibly even lower. So we have it counted here as 1, 2, and then if we do get lower prices, wave 3, wave 4, and finally wave 5, going into maybe 420, 421. That would be right where the end of our cycle for a low ends. All right, so I'll just leave these here for placeholders. We'll see if we get a reversal. This would be the perfect setup for that. You still could go up to the 786 here at 530, about 538, and still be a healthy 1-2 setup. So just keep that in mind. We still have some room to go, but if we reverse from here, it simply was a B with a triangle, and that's what we did all day this morning, and now we're into the C wave, and that can be complete, and then we get our rest of our sell-off going into next week. QQQ. So the Qs, same thing. Here's our wedge pattern. Do we get to the top of the wedge? We have our old falling wedge pattern here that price was holding on to, and then broke down from, back tested, and we're right back there. I know it's a zone. It's a big zone here, but we're right back at it. So this tells me if we can't get over it, we're just doing the same thing. An ABC, and then for a wave 2, you have your 1, 2, 1, 2, and head further down. Setup. SMH. Looking the same. Nothing to see here. All right, in this channel, it's a falling channel. If we get above, so if SMH can get above this channel and this resistance around 207, 208, then that might say something a little bit different about what's happening with the Qs and SPY. So that'd be a first clue. To me, this looks like a bear flag, and we break down, possibly to new lows. IWM. So the bond market, the rates, the 10-year rates are loosening up for IWM. And so it's starting to show a little bit of strength there. This looks like a bear flag. Now it looks like we're gonna pull forward. It is increasingly moving lower. And so, like I said, when you have huge moves in the bonds, and maybe we get this follow through for the rates to the downside, that means bonds are going up at that point. Treasuries going up. Then that will affect the tech market. So keep an eye on tech if those bonds continue to move. Diamonds. Trend is our friend. Really just still in this bear flag if we draw on that. I know that is the same for SPY as well. That you can draw a bear flag. Had a throw over and just really just a 1-2 setup there. And I think that's about it. All I want to show. VIX. And then we'll let you go. Okay, so if VIX finds some strength here, higher low, looks like it's a 1-2 setup and going for wave 3. So this could be a pretty large move here going into next week. We're in this corrective, expansive wedge here, and we'll see if we break out of the wedge or at least go to the top of it, which is pretty steep. So that'd take us up to maybe up to 65 or so, 64. If you break out, obviously higher. But yeah. All right, you guys, starting to gain some strength here. Looks like a nice little ABC pattern. We had that triangle in here, and we may take off from this point. I doubt a whole lot more is going to happen today, but just keep in mind if you're long that you have a lot of risk coming up here into next week. All right, thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. We will talk to you tomorrow with the weekend analysis.